Witness 6 testified that Lahi Brahimaj participated in some of his beatings and was sometimes present while others beat him. Witness 6 also testified that Lahi Brahimaj was among those who accused him of associating with and spying for the Serbs. Witness 6 had ample opportunity to observe Lahi Brahimaj throughout the approximately 4 weeks during which he was beaten. Furthermore, Witness 6 testified that during the following couple of weeks he repeatedly observed Lahi Brahimaj at the Jablanica compound. Witness 6 heard others address him as Lahi or Makshub and learned that Makshub was Lahi Brahimaj's nickname. Witness 6 later recognized Lahi Brahimaj on a prosecution photo board. Based on the evidence as a whole, the Chamber therefore is convinced that Lahi Brahimaj personally participated in the cruel treatment and torture of Witness 6 and concludes that he should be convicted for having committed these crimes. Under count 32, the prosecution alleged that in July 1998, Witness 3 was detained at the Jablanica KLA headquarters and submitted to severe beatings by the KLA. The Chamber is convinced that Witness 3 was subject to beatings by KLA soldiers or persons affiliated with the KLA, which caused him serious physical suffering, and that the perpetrators intended to cause such suffering. The Chamber is also convinced that the beatings of Witness 3 were aimed at punishing him for withholding a weapon and discriminating against him on the basis of his perceived ties to the Serbs. For these reasons, the Chamber is convicted beyond a reasonable doubt that KLA soldiers or persons affiliated with the KLA committed cruel treatment and torture against Witness 3. Furthermore, the evidence establishes beyond a reasonable doubt that Lahi Brahimaj left Witness 3 in a room in the Jablanica compound in which KLA soldiers or persons affiliated with the KLA arrived shortly thereafter and beat Witness 3 with baseball bats. The evidence also established beyond a reasonable doubt that on another occasion Lahi Brahimaj interrogated Witness 3, accusing him of supporting the Serbian police and withholding an automatic weapon. During this same occasion, Lahi Brahimaj told 2 women who were present and dressed in black uniforms to practice on him. These women then beat Witness 3. The Chamber found that Lahi Brahimaj's role in the interrogations, as well as his position of authority, established his intent to inflict serious physical suffering on Witness 3 for the purpose of punishing him for withholding a weapon and discriminating against him on the basis of his perceived ties to the Serbs. For these reasons, the Chamber concludes that Lahi Brahimaj should be convicted for having committed cruel treatment and torture under count 32. for the other crimes committed under counts 6, 20, 30, 36, and 37, the Chamber found that insufficient evidence was advanced by the prosecution to hold any of the accused criminally liable. Count 14 charged Idris Balaj with committing, planning, instigating, or aiding and abetting the commission of the murders of the mother and the two sisters of witnesses 4 and 19. The majority found that there was no evidence that he knowingly contributed to or facilitated the commission of any of the murders, noting in particular the absence of evidence that he was aware at the time that these murders were or would be committed. Judge Hupfel dissents as to Idris Balaj's criminal liability for aiding and abetting the commission of the murder of Sister S. Having summarized its findings, the Chamber will now give its verdict. Mr. Haradinaj, would you please stand? I just asked Mr. Haradinaj. I'll invite you to stand, Mr. Balaj and Mr. Brahimaj, at a later stage. For the reasons summarized above, this Chamber, having considered all of the evidence and the arguments of the parties, the statute and the rules, and based upon the factual and legal findings as determined in the judgment, the Chamber finds you, Mr. Haradinaj, not guilty, and therefore acquits you of all counts. Could I have quiet, please? On all, acquits you of all counts against you in the indictment. The Chamber orders that you be immediately released from the United Nations detention unit after the necessary practical arrangements are made. You may be seated. The public is invited not disturb the pronouncing of this judgment. Mr. Balaj, would you please stand? For the reasons summarized above, having considered all of the evidence and the arguments of the parties, the statute and the rules, and based upon the factual and legal findings as determined in the judgment, the majority finds you not guilty, Judge Hupfel dissenting, and therefore acquits you of all counts against you in the indictment. The Chamber orders that you be released from the United Nations detention unit after the necessary practical arrangements are made for your transfer to the authorities competent for the enforcement of the sentence you were serving at the time of your transfer to the seat of the tribunal. You may be seated.